Let's do it. All right, everybody. I am here with Jeff Sutherland from Midlife Fit Club. What's up, Jeff? Long time no see.
Jesse, I appreciate it, man. It's an honor to be here again, and thank you.
Yeah, man, it's love having you. You are the first guest in 2 years, or say, put it this way, you are the first time I'm having a guest back on the
Oh,
show to run
woo!
it back. So you've got that honor, my friend. So
Right on.
cool. Well, thanks for being here. So I've got your
Yeah.
YouTube channel up over here to my right.
Oh, oh, cool.
And I happen to notice you've been on YouTube for less than 2 years,
Yeah, yeah.
and you have over 10 million views on YouTube.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
You
how
didn't
much views.
you didn't know
I knew
that?
the subscribers was like 50 something, but I didn't know the views.
So you're
Yeah,
crushing
cool.
it, but
Right
I
on.
noticed 2 of your most popular videos. One had to do with, as you put it, quote, "flipping the switch at
Yeah.
51." So you're 53 years young, right, Jeff?
53, yeah, 54 in February.
God bless you, shaming 20-year-olds with your physique. But anyways, your other one of your other most popular videos had to do more of like a Q&A. So that to say,
Yeah,
that first one, right? So flipping the switch, how did you make the change from going, as you put it, out of shape to shredded, right? But like the question is
yeah,
a why. So like what happened for you in your
yeah.
early 50s, 51, that made you be like, okay, I'm flipping the switch?
There's not a lot of guys that are fit around my age, but they can be if they wanna be. But I think as we've talked about before, it was the it started with the drinking thing. I was just at a point where I was just sick and tired. So at 51, that's when I realized I'm just done. I'd been drinking for years and years, and you know, since I was in high school, really, and through my 40s, it was just, a lot of partying and with my wife and going out to dinner and just drinking. It was becoming our identity, really. And we both just got kind of like, what are we doing? This is just stupid. But I never really thought I'd be able to get out of that phase of drinking. Like it was kind of just something we did together. So that was really the beginning. But really, the main thing was I found God. That was
Amen.
the main thing, and I didn't really talk about it at the beginning. There is some posts early on where I do talk about it, where I talk about the Holy Spirit literally came into my life, and, um, it was tangible. I felt it. It was like there's just this feeling that came into me. It was incredible, and, it was just time to change, and now looking back, it's just so empowering to do something that most dudes aren't doing. And so I guess I just wanted to prove to myself that, just feeling everything, being completely sober, I just needed to prove to myself that I could do it. And now I look back on it and I just think it's a badass thing to do.
So with you, essentially like earning a living online and being online all the time, I wanted to ask you, like, how has that impacted you in how long have you been doing this, Jeff? 2 years now?
Over 2 years
Over
now.
2 years? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
can you notice a difference between maybe, like, your head and heart health, like how you felt 2 years ago versus now?
yeah.
How's it
And
changed you?
yeah, so this business has been 2 years. As far as making content, I've been doing it since like Instagram was there, just to let everyone know that I am a content creator. It's kind of what I've always done, but I've been an art director for a lot of surf companies and in that world, graphic design. So the content creation of what I do is what I love. I love to do this. But yeah, so the fitness came, you know, in just over 2 years with this particular business and content creator, and how it's been a grind harder than I've ever worked in my life. And it's amazing when people reach out to me about they ask me what do I do for a living, and it's like, well, do you really want to know? I mean, if you want to work 24/7, go be a content creator if you're trying to make a living at it. I mean, it's a constant grind. I do it all myself with, thank God I have my wife, but she helps me too. It's our only source of income right now. She recently just lost her job. So, I mean, putting that post out about God last night, it was kind of a, you know, I'm just giving it all to God on this one, man, because uh, it is our only source of income, and there's a lot of people that when you talk about God get uncomfortable and they just click unfollow and potentially loss of business but that's part of being a follower of Jesus, man, and that's what
Yep.
I've learned, and it's kind of been slightly I'm so new at it that it is still kind of uncomfortable for me. But it's a tough world out there, and you're right. Uh, I see it more because I'm in this world.
Public figure.
Yeah, I guess so. I never think of myself this way. I'm a really humble guy. That's what's a trip about all this because I get a comment all the time. It's like, "Do you own shirts and stuff like this?" But if they really knew me, I I I'm always wearing a shirt.
Well, you are right now. Thank you for
I am
that.
right now. But it kinda became my brand, and it's kinda like I said to you yesterday, it's like it's my business card. I'm in my 50s, and I feel comfortable not wearing a shirt, so I wanna show that, you know, if you put in the work, you could not wear your shirt too. Plus, I live
Yeah.
in Southern California. It's sunny.
Look, man, look,
It's always
what
sunny here.
you're trying to advise people on how to get fit, and, like,
Yeah,
T-shirts can hide a lot, so, like, you just showing, like,
yeah,
"Hey, not only do I talk the talk, I'm walking the walk." I think it's totally appropriate, so you keep the shirt off,
yeah.
dude. You go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanna hit on another one of those popular, videos that you have. So, you are shredded, and you know that. So,
Yeah.
so you did a video, and I thought it was great. You essentially asked a lot of your own audience member and followers, you answered their questions. Like there was a Q and A. What are your most common questions? So I guess I'll just throw it over to you, Jeff. What are some of the most common questions that you get on a
Oh,
regular basis on how
yeah.
to live like you and look like you? And then if you could just kind of give your best answer to some of those questions. I took some notes on the questions, but like what are
Yeah.
like the top 5 questions that you get all the time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, number one question is, well, there's a couple. What do I eat, and do I do TRT or steroids or peptides or anything like that? That's probably the number one question. I don't think people believe that you can be in good shape without being on TRT at my age, and, the answer is no, I don't. When I first started working out, I never even thought twice. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know what it was. I just didn't think. I just knew, "Oh, dude, I just gotta go work out and eat healthy," you know?
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I did, and I just stick to that, and that's still what I do. So that's probably number 1, and then number 2 is, the food I eat. What do you eat to stay lean year round like that? My wife and I, we made it a lifestyle, we eat at home now. Like I said earlier, we used to go out to bars, now we eat at home, and that's our new lifestyle, and we enjoy spending time together, so
So
that's
pretty well rounded on the carbs, fats, and proteins.
pretty
Like,
I've
yep.
definitely I could probably pick up on carbs, and actually I have been. I've been adding, like, potatoes, like starchy potatoes to my diet a few times a week, uh, I would say definitely lean on protein. More than anything, that's the other question, like, how many grams of protein do you try to get a day? And it's like, I'm 170 pounds, so that's what I shoot for, 170 grams of protein, but I think I try to get more. I'll try to get more if I can. As far as the science behind it, I just go off my gut and everything on everything I do. But I know number 1 is I do wanna stay lean and feeling good, and so that's why I just focus on protein.
Love it. One of the questions in that exact video, I think someone asked, like, "What is your workout routine?" I think you said 3 individual, like, body part focus and then a whole body. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, totally. I guess it's a 4-day-a-week split, I'll call it. It always hits full body. So I say, like, I do, like, leg, shoulders in 1 day. It's just what I've always done. And I still do it to this day. So on Mondays, that's what I do, shoulders and legs. But then I add full body because in a lot of my workouts, I'll swing the kettlebell, and to me, that's really kind of a full body workout because You're getting grip strength, forearms, really arms, your posterior, your whole posterior chain, your lower back, your core. I really attribute my core strength to the kettlebell swing too. But so yeah, so Monday, then Tuesday I focus on arms, full body. Wednesdays, it's chest back, full body, and then Thursday I rest, and then Friday I do a fun full body like kettlebell workout. Normally, a lot of single bell workouts, maybe double kettlebell stuff. I try to have fun with the Friday workout, and I structured it that way too because you get it done, get those 3 days done early in the week, take a rest Thursday, then it's Friday, you have fun with that workout, and then you're done. I just rest on the weekends, although I'll swing my mace bell a lot, I'll still do push-ups, and I'll, maybe try to beat my record of I think it's 18, or I think I got 18 pull-ups as my in a row straight, really strict pull-ups. I'm shooting for 20, haven't gotten there yet, but I'll do stuff like that on the weekends, but, not
Yeah.
crazy full workouts or anything.
Well, you just because a lot of people get so fixated on having like a really strict structure and every single workout has to be like methodical and building on
Mm,
the previous one. On those weekend ones where you just kind of want to, it sounds like move a little bit and do something.
mm.
Do you just go out there and just do whatever you feel like doing?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
I like
Yeah, and
that.
I'll practice a kettlebell, like, I'll practice on doing, like, really clean cleans, if you know what I mean, like, as
Yeah.
clean as possible, have it just really float in there really nice, and, because a lot of those times you'll come up for a clean and it's not as good as you want, but the next one will be better, so you're always just trying to make it a little better.
Yeah.
But one
Jeff,
thing I
give me,
wanna say before I
yeah, go.
forget is
Go ahead.
walking. I walk 7 days a week with my wife. That is, like, key, especially for my mind when I am feeling down, I mean, and also fitness in general when I'm feeling down. Get outside and, move your body, and that
Love it.
helps every time.
I love that. When you walk, do you guys have like a scheduled time every day? Is it morning,
Yeah,
afternoon, or is it just
every
whenever?
day, later afternoon, between 2 and 3. So I would say a lot of times we'll get out and walk. It's when we kinda got through all our work, and then we'll kinda unwind with a walk.
But is that like the only specific thing that you do outside of the workouts themselves with the kettles and everything?
Yeah, yeah, I would say. Yeah, that's really the more intentional cardio, 'cause I call it brisk walk. We hit it pretty hard, really intentionally,
Mhm.
walk pretty hard. But, man, I would say, like, with the kettlebells, though, endurance and I would say athleticism is what you'll kinda get with those, and so I do feel, I mean, out of all the exercises I do, that's the one that gets my heart really pumping, and sometimes I have to sit down for a minute after and, get my electrolytes in and just
Yeah.
take a quick break.
But maybe just
Yeah,
maybe last question, maybe
yeah,
one other follow-up on fitness before we move on, but if
okay.
someone wants to introduce kettlebells into their regular routine, not necessarily changing it to be like yours, but if they've got a pair of kettlebells and they're staring at it and like, "I don't even know what to do with that." And, like, let's just say at the end of a strength training session, give us, like, a walk to what can they do? What can they do for both that, the cardio benefit, but also everything else you mentioned, athleticism, mobility, and even strength?
I mean, I would just go right for the swing. That just seems like the most logical approach. But yeah, kettlebell swing, double kettlebell swing. I love doing a little swinging into to a clean. There's just so much you could do with them. Goblet squats. I mean, really, if you only have one kettlebell, you could do so much. And that's the other thing I want to talk about is my workouts are fast. It's like I would say they're anywhere from 20 to, like, 45 minutes, and it's been really working well for me. Look, I'm not looking to be a professional bodybuilder, or I'm not looking to be in shows or anything like that. This is just simply about wanting to stay fit at my age, so I don't have time to, mess around.
Man, when I listen to you, it's so refreshing and it should be encouraging because when I ask you these questions, you have this way about you where you're like, yeah, I do strength training, but I don't overdo it. And
Mm,
yeah, I
yeah.
eat clean, but I'm not like obsessing. And yeah, I do
Uh-huh.
cardio, but I enjoy it with my wife and I get my cardio, in my strength training. And yeah, I do core, but I'm kind of doing core anyway when I'm strength training. Your
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
kind of posture towards fitness is like, hey, I'm passionate. I do it, I'm consistent, I work hard,
Yeah.
but I'm efficient, I get it done. And to
Yeah.
look at you and to hear a guy who's like, you're not sitting here saying like, "Oh, I count calories and I have this," you have like an 8-pack and you're shredded and you're 53, and I think that should be encouraged for people to hear because it's like sometimes when you start to, consume people's guidance, it can get
Mhm.
overwhelming because 'cause they're like, "Oh,
Oh gosh.
you have to get under a barbell and you have to train for, an hour a day." So to hear that you can achieve and you can flip the switch at 51 and look like you do at 53 with this very, I think, approachable kind of attitude
Mhm.
about it
Mhm.
should be
Yeah.
very encouraging for anybody listening.
One question I wanted to ask you, Jesse, is, that I had been thinking about, and because I get a lot of people reaching out, it's like, well, you have all the time in the world to work out," and even me, I really I don't as much as you think, 'cause people think that that's all I do, but I'm really actually busy doing so many other things. But with you, my 2 daughters are grown, adult daughters, so they don't I'm not taking care of them anymore. But I know with you, Jesse, you have 3 young children.
I
So
do.
how and also you do, other businesses, and how do you do it, man? That's what I'm getting at. Where do
I
you
don't
find
sleep.
the time to get your workouts in,
Yeah,
man?
I don't sleep. No, man, that look, trust me, you're touching on a hot button for me because sometimes I don't feel like I have the hours in the day to do what I need to do, and let's rank those things, right? Like be show up as a husband and especially show up as a husband, as a teammate for 3 young kids, and they're 7.5, 5.5, 2.5. And by
Yeah.
2.5, it's girl, girl, boy, and that boy is whatever you're thinking of like a, prototypical 2.5-year-old boy, like breaking stuff, throwing stuff, yelling loud, he's that. So
Yeah.
how do I show up for them? How do I show up for my I mean, as you mentioned, I'm a COO of a community health center, and then of course I have this awesome show. So fitness is a priority as well. But like to get to your answer, how do I do it?
Yeah.
I've found that first off, working out is like therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I don't, all those other things feel harder.
Mm.
So if I try to squeeze my training into the middle of my day, which is jammed,
Yeah.
it just won't happen. And then I'm like tense because I'm trying to get to it and I can't. So
Yeah.
all that to answer your question, I wake up at 5:15. I cold plunge within 10 minutes. It's a whole nother conversation, but
Whoa.
it wakes me up. It, like endorphins, it just kind of cracks me out of like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
awake now. And
Yeah.
then I try to hit my training. Like I try to be moving and working out by like, I don't know, 5:40. And then I just give
Wow.
myself an hour and I just fill that hour with whatever my training is. That way it's done. It's like I like to say that I do all my hardest work like before anyone in my family even opens their eyes,
Oh.
but it feels I feel like, strong doing that, and I feel like a provider because what I'm doing is I'm making sure that my training doesn't eat away from the responsibilities that matter the most, which is like my kids are waking up, I'm helping them get on the bus, I'm
Mm.
cleaning up the house, and then I start my work, and then I'm there and I'm supportive to my wife. So I guess the short answer could have been I do it first, I do it early, and unfortunately, Jeff, and I know this is not the best habit, but even if it means I don't sleep as much, and that's
Mm,
something
mm,
that I'm
mm.
starting to like, I'm trying to be disciplined to go to bed by 10 o'clock so that I get
Yeah.
at least 7 hours in bed when that alarm goes off.
Yeah. That's
But
pretty good, but
sometimes I want to spend a little bit more time with my wife, or we unfortunately
yeah.
watch that second episode of whatever show we're
Yeah.
watching
Yeah,
together. So
totally.
I think I
Wow.
sacrifice sleep a little bit, and maybe I shouldn't, but it's all about prioritizing it and then like committing to it. I'm the type of guy that like if I say I'm working out at this time tomorrow, it's gonna take 103 fever for me to not do it. I'm like, I'm
Oh,
doing that shit
yeah.
or else
Yeah.
that I mean, there's nothing I guess so it's I guess a little bit of discipline there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the discipline you need to that's crazy, man. That's awesome. So that's how you do it, everyone.
That's how I do it. We're gonna just move on to kind of
Yeah, yeah.
a final question or two, but I'm gonna do my best to summarize what I and we just learned from you, and then just ask you one more final question around fitness, just like, is there anything else? But so on the fitness side of things, strength training intentionally 4 times a week. Right now, 3 more body part focused, always working in the kettles, getting the core in, and then having a rest day, and then a full body day on the cardio side. Sounds like you're getting kind of multitasking, you're spending quality time with your spouse while
Yeah,
also doing a brisk walk 7 times a week,
yeah,
and then also relying on your strength training for the cardio side of things. Supplementation seems pretty minimal, nothing crazy, no,
no.
TRT peptides, nothing like that, me neither. Um,
Yeah,
and
oh, nice.
yeah, and then on the, nutrition side, it feels like just well-rounded, healthy, whole foods, and you're not counting calories, you're just relying on eating good stuff and kinda
Yeah.
going by your gut. Did I miss anything?
No, that's exactly it, man. It's just, the way God designed us to be is just to eat healthy food and, exercise. We're meant to be workers and move our bodies,
Amen.
so it's just that simple. That's my philosophy with this whole thing.
Amen. Oh,
Yeah,
I left out an important thing, no alcohol and no
no
weed.
alcohol. No,
Like
yep, no,
yeah.
no,
Yeah,
no,
man.
yeah, and, I do, take creatine with, protein and water every day. 30 grams of I do supplement a little bit of protein just to push it there, but, so
Yeah, that
creatine, protein, but those are and what's that? Oh, collagen. I'll take some collagen, but other
got
than
it. I
that,
heard you say electrolytes, you said before
and
too.
electrolytes, I'll
But
put that in
yeah.
my water as well with that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
I'll
awesome, man. You heard it. I'm going to link to all your resources. I know you have an app and fitness programs and nutritional guides. It sounds like now, but then I kind of want to pivot to what we touched on earlier. The way I put it was, you're not quote just about fitness.
no.
You have your faith journey, which is
Yeah,
relatively new. You have your sobriety journey, which is
yeah.
relatively new. I know from getting to know you that you're incredibly loyal and committed to being a good husband and a good father. So when you think about these central parts of who you are and what makes Jeff Sutherland who he is, especially Jesus and your relationships and all those things, as you look forward into your kind of online presence and how you're guiding people and how you're inspiring people, what's on your mind? What might change in terms of your message? What are you thinking about? And kind of what's in the future for the Jeff Sutherland that's 53 years young?
Yeah, it's exciting. But to be completely honest, I'm not sure where it's gonna go. I do know that I wanna continue to be better and working on being better. I feel like we all have that in us to be better human beings. I don't know how it'll all incorporate because I don't wanna come across like, I'm some preacher dude that's makes people feel like they have to follow my faith journey or anything like that. I wanna be careful with that because I still want people that may not believe in God to follow me as long as they're not negative. I don't want negative people on my page anymore, so that's why it's kinda good people are dropping off and when I do talk about God a little bit, but I don't want it to scare people away because in that way. I still have dreams. We still working towards our dreams, my wife and I to my wife's family's from Idaho. Dreams of driving up there and having trips and just having more free time. I could see it going that way. We've talked about, renting our house out and buying a van and getting on the road for a while or
Wow.
VRBOing it and doing that and bringing some kettlebells with me. I think it could make some cool content and storytelling there. That would be really cool. But right now we're not there. Right now we're just in the grind, trying to just just keep going and just keep trying to be a good human being. I really have a blessed life, as challenging as it is through social media and doing this. I know he put me in this position. It sounds weird to say he entrusted me in doing this uh, by giving me this following because honestly, when I first started putting videos out on Instagram, I never thought that this amount of people would end up following me. So I really think that was God just like, "Okay, dude, I'm gonna here you go. Do the right thing with this," and so that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, well, think about how many people start out and create businesses or accounts on social media with the intent of it turning into something that could be, sustainable and providing. and you've done it, and I don't know the statistics, but it's not common. I think and so much of it has
Yeah.
to do with not how you look, Jeff, but like who you are. And I just want to relate with you for a second, and this shows more about you than me, but I'm a Christian. You know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And as a creator as well, I mean, podcasting is creating with
Absolutely.
other people too, with guests. But, I think about it now and then, like, am I saying enough? Am I revealing enough about who I am in my heart and about Jesus? Like there's always that tension
Yeah.
for me because you can't spend time with me without getting to know me and my faith comes out. But I don't necessarily lead with that all the time because I have
Mm.
this fear that
Yeah.
I could alienate people because the way you put it, it's like I'm not trying to preach, but if your faith is so built into who you are, how can you not share it? But there is that sort of fine line between when all of a sudden do I cross over and become, Jesse, the Christian guy with the podcast, not just like the good guy trying to lead a better life and help people that happens to be a Christian. And I feel like there's that kind of like fine line that you have to
Totally.
kind of
Yeah.
like straddle and I come back to my life verse and it's actually tattooed on my hand here, which
Yeah.
is 2 Timothy 1:7. And I think it's exactly what you and I are like thinking about and maybe even wrestling with. And that verse is, for God did not give us a spirit of fear or timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline. Fear and timidity on one side, power
Mhm.
and love and self-discipline. So all that to say, now I sound like a preacher here, but it's like if you truly invite God in to be a part of the decisions that you make, then you can't be fearful of where he leads you. And as I
Yeah.
talk to you, I just think like if you follow your heart and your faith story becomes part of not just your online story, but your entire story, then you'll be in good hands wherever you land, my friend. That's my
Yeah.
take on it.
Yeah, totally. And
Yeah.
that's when you're relatively new Christian like myself, that's where I struggle, you really it's a practice, of really just putting all faith in like, "Oh, please.
Yeah.
Please, I need to make a living," but at the same time, my wife and I will be fine, we'll figure something else out. So I'd rather do the right thing and, you know, uh, start talking what God's done for me in my life. It's only been a good thing.
Yeah. If you get the van, if you go the van route, rent out your house, you
Yeah.
mentioned Idaho. Colorado's not much further. You're gonna swing by
Yeah.
northern
I
Colorado
would
and meet
love
my
to
family?
go. Yeah. Oh, heck
I'd love
yeah.
to have you.
Oh, good to know. Maybe we could park it there for a while.
Let's go. I got a guest room. You can
Yeah.
pop in for a little bit. That'd
Oh,
be
that'd be
cool, man.
amazing, man.
Um, yeah, so final thoughts from you. We'll wrap up, but anything else in terms of finding you, following you, and learning from you? Anywhere you want to direct my listeners to engage with you, Jeff?
Yeah, well, you could find me on, Instagram, Midlife Fit Club, YouTube, Midlife Fit Club. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook. You could kinda find me everywhere in all the social media networks. I guess I just would leave with, I think a lot of us have heard this before, a lot of fitness people talk about, mm, excuse me, taking those baby steps towards bettering yourself. Just don't beat yourself up. If we all have our individual pains and hurts. I know I do. But I've learned to, y- you know, feel that pain, but use that pain to be better and change the trajectory of where my hurts come from. And you and I know what my main hurt is. We've talked about that. So I just wish everyone the best. I just want them to know that everything that I'm doing is coming from the goodness of my own heart, and I genuinely wanna help people reach whatever goal they wanna reach, and we all have something special with inside ourselves and that's really it.
Yeah, wise words, man. Well said.
Thank you, man.
Right. Good advice for anyone here. Hey, love to do this again sometime. If you want to come back
Yeah,
in, we can check
I
in.
would. Yeah. Yeah, because 'cause you're awesome, Jesse. That's what you're a good dude, and, so thank you so much for having me. I sure appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, man. Jeff Sutherland, everybody, check him out.